Today's Tuesday. I got to untangle this. Had it all tangled up in my cord for my earphones. Just got through working on other car, darn hatch. It wouldn't go down and stay down. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. I went on the internet, tried about everything that was on there. And then I messed with it a while, and you know how it is when you're working on something, you get frustrated, and it. uh, no, I didn't swear though, but I wanted to. And the Lord probably knows it too. Yeah, but I went back on the internet. I finally found a way to repair it, and it was a simple thing. It just kind of overextend your gas shocks on your hatch a little bit when you're pushing up, and then let it settle in. And then when you push your key bob to close your hatch, it'll go down and latch. And I didn't know that. Who would have thought something like that? That's so simple. What was happening, we got back from the grocery store and parked the car in the garage, and I couldn't get the hatch to stay down. I hit it several times, and something was wrong with the latch itself. And in fact, the internet tells you that's the problem, either the module that controls that latch or the latch itself. And it wasn't making that click like it normally would, which meant, well, somewhere in the controls. And there's sensors in the side as well. So after exhausting everything except the very simplest thing, and the heck of it is, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 10 years ago, I was having problems with it, and one of the shocks, gas shocks, had went bad, and it shouldn't have because the car wasn't that old and didn't have that many miles on it. It's an MKX. It's a Lincoln SUV is what it is. But I replaced both shocks, put brand new ones on back then, and that worked fine after that. It's extremely sensitive, I guess, on there. It doesn't take much to make it where it don't work. They even tell you to disconnect the battery and put the battery back on, the terminal. Well, when you do that, then everything has to relearn itself on your computer. And that takes a while. You got to drive down the road for about 10, 15 minutes. And yeah, I had a low tire too, of all the darn things. Who would have thought? Yeah, matter of fact, my old shock, yeah, it's up there. I've had it sitting there for 10 years on the shelf in case I'd need to replace just one. Because all that went bad the last time was just one. It wasn't both. But I would replace both. I wanted them to be a pair so they acted equal. You don't want your hatch coming down squirrely. It can cause a lot more damage. Well, and that's enough of that. I listened to Leslie today on the Two Lees channel. And sounds like everything was going real well. Rich was there, Mike, and plenty informative. I'm not going to go over the stuff. I'd rather you went to that channel because, secondhand information isn't as good as when you get it right from the horse's mouth. And no, I'm not talking. I'm not calling them names either. Everybody out there, it seems like no matter what you say or do, every word comes back to haunt you. No matter what, nobody has a sense of humor anymore, or at least it seems that way. So many people on all these channels have gotten upset or butthurt over the simplest things, and there really isn't any reason for it. Even Rich, as much as he jokes around and stuff, every once in a while he'll bring things down and say, get very serious and explain things out a little better so that people, Rich likes to joke around a lot. And not everybody jokes. They take every word and hang on it. And if you almost have to listen to everything he's saying to understand that there's times that he is extremely serious, and he's a very sharp individual, and he has an agenda. So today I thought he was really down to earth. So it's not a bad thing to go in there and look at the live from earlier today. It was this morning. Oh, what else have I got out there? Not a whole lot. I really, I was so busy working on my car and getting groceries and things like that today that I didn't have a lot of time to do everything else. And, oh, yeah, if you're asking whether I got served or not, at this point I haven't been served yet. I know it's out there. Okay, the paperwork has been out there. And I talked to one of the process servers in my area, and there's nothing there either. All right. My wife brought the dog out. He likes to check things out. Plus, it looks like we got a storm rolling in on us, so I'm going to have to roll this out pretty quick so that I can get off from here. Everything actually is going pretty smooth. Like I say, I haven't been served yet. I did talk to one of the process servers in the area, and it seems like that actually, the notification of it heading this way came out day before yesterday, at least on this end. It just, for some reason, hasn't been delivered. A good friend of mine said that she would try to get it and bring it to me, since she's part of the group that does that, who owns one of the businesses that does it. So before long, when I get it, I'll let everybody know. I know the haters are just chomping at the bit so that I get that little piece of paper in my hands, and so I can listen to them say, well, I told you. I never seen so many so happy about people getting served with court summons. It just, it's never a good thing to have to go through courts. And it's not a good thing to sue, and it's not a good thing to get sued. It just happens. This one, money is the reason, obviously. It has nothing to do with anybody's rights or none of that. No matter how you try to convince me of it, I won't believe that. My opinion is it's a money maker, and they're gonna ride this thing until till the horse is dead. It's going to be there, and until the court system says enough is enough, and we're not going to listen to any more of this baloney. It'll be one case after another. I can just tell you, it's not coming to a halt anytime soon. I can remember the day where the court system believed that they could bring you before the court and get you out of there quick. And if you had something coming, you were going to get it. If you didn't, you're going to get out of the court. That's all. It wasn't as big a deal as it is today, and every word is hung on like it's the most important thing in the world. And what it really comes down to is what needs to be done to follow the law. That's it. Okay? Very simple. And it's a simple thing made hard. And it's made it so the common person can't walk before a judge and plead their case, quite frankly. I seen what happened to Michelle when she tried to act without a lawyer. And it was very confusing. Understanding some of the words in the legal system is very hard. And it's almost like you have to have a dictionary right next to you, or at the very least, something where you can look at it, type in the word you understand, so that it comes back out in legalese language. One thing about it, the lawyers that have been coming on the shows lately have been trying to break it down. Here comes my pup. That's what I'm looking at. They've been trying to break it down so we can all understand it and where they're going to go from there with it. So I don't know what else to talk about. Like I say, when I do get it, I'm going to let you know both sides of this coin. And I don't know why they call it both sides. Here's the thing. I don't think too many believe 100% one way or the other. I think they believe that in any fight or negotiations, there's like a give or take within boundary of it to keep it from getting so far out that everybody gets hurt that touches it. And this I don't see absolutely any reason for this one to have ever got into the courts other than the financial end. That was it. And the more and more they talk about these signs, the more I can see, in my mind, as far as I'm concerned, Miss Preston did not have anything to do with those signs. That's just the way I believe. And please don't come on here and start berating me for it. This is my opinion. And you're welcome to yours. You'll have a hard time changing mind. And, yes, I've seen both sides where they have their handwriting expert. And there's been so much talk about junk science and all that. And I think in the modern world, believe it or not, I think you could copy handwriting so perfectly that nobody could figure it out. I really think that we've got to that point. And if you don't believe me, there used to be a way you could shadow somebody's printing. Matter of fact, when I started out in mechanical drafting years ago, they had equipment available right then that if you actually wanted to copy a signature, you could do it with that. So there is no reason to have. I'm just telling you, if a steady hand could follow signatures without a problem. And when it came to following somebody's words, if you have a library of enough words, you'd also be able to do it. And you could make by using AI, I believe you can make somebody's signature and follow, do a shadow version of it. It's a combination of, if you have a pencil and a pencil. That's really what it amounts to. You can write down here on top of somebody's, with the AI help, and actually verbatim do whatever they're going to do. In other words, you get on the computer, you type everything in the way you want it as far as signage, and then let it refer back to actual language that person has used over the years, the real stuff. And it won't matter what size it is either, by the way. And then bring it to just one size for a message, whether it be a letter or a sign or anything else. And you'd be able to do that. To me, that is within the realm. Today's world, that would be very simple. That's my opinion, obviously. But with the background surrounding these signs, from what I can see of the people involved, and the things that came out before and after, in my mind, as far as I see it, it was not done by John and Michelle or anybody associated with them. So there you are. Argue with me all you want, I guess, but that's the simple thing of it. My opinion, of course, and I know I'll get hammered for it, but that's... All right, well, I'm going to let you go for today. I hope you get a good laugh out of everything, if that's what makes you happy. I hope you understand that as the documentation comes up there, if you're looking at it on 2 Leaves in a Pod, it's the real deal. It's not a fake. It's the way that came fresh from the courts, if you want to say it that way, or and the people that appear on there are the real deal. They're not fakes. So they're not, and I guarantee you this, when people come on there, they're not coming on there for money. There is no money to be made on a small channel. It takes more time than the worth of what you're going to get out of it from the monetary issues. And a channel my size, you're talking pennies a month in reality, what you're going to make if you're looking at advertisement. I know I look at it every once in a while to see what it should have made if it was monetized. Yeah, it wouldn't even be worth for me to even pull a computer out and opening it up for that kind of money, because there is just almost non-existent. So there you go on that. And you can look at it too, as far as checking everybody's channel out. You can get an idea of what they're making. It's not a sure thing. It's the sideline you get from here, whether it be a super chat or merchandise, things like that, sponsorships. There's a good thing in sponsorships. And I thought a lot of times, what would happen if a sponsor wanted to come in and say, Ray, we'll give you a lawnmower for uh, putting the thing out on our lawnmower or, like a bike I got out there. And I looked up out there, and believe it or not, there's a couple of channels out there, and they've been able to resell these products they give them. And actually, it's not too bad of an amount of money at the end of the month if you get enough sponsors that clamber in there. And what I understand is it's more like maybe foreign entities that are willing to sponsor you in that and give you their product free just for testing it. So think of that. That's a good deal. It's a good thing when I did that weed eater, that was last fall. It's a good thing it wasn't a sponsor because I wouldn't have been able to say anything good about it. And I didn't. You talk about me getting scammed. Whew. That thing, it was the flimsiest thing I have ever used to try to cut weeds with. And the batteries didn't last long. They didn't have much life in them. And the equipment, like the blades, there's several different blades. One was plastic. One was supposed to be steel, but it was more like tin. They bent a whole lot of shape. Then you could use some regular string line on it, pieces. And if it was bigger than a blade of grass, it didn't do a very good job of getting through it. It just did not have the steam. And I think I got about $70 or $80 in it. I still got the box and most of the equipment sitting in it because, what am I going to do? Where am I going to send it? Come out of China. Yeah. No matter who you buy one from over there, it's still government owned. They're all kind of about the same. Yeah, and somebody will probably call on here and say, "Hey, look, we got one. We had good luck." Well, I'm glad. I've got an old Black & Decker battery operated one here, and we've got a collection of Black & Decker batteries up there, and they fit the blower and the weed eater, and it works just fine. So I guess I'll just stick with that old piece of, what it is. And it's not industrial design whatsoever. It's just like you get it home. And the heck of it is, the first one cost me $29. The last one cost me, I think, $49. And that last one I've had for 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. So, and it's still going. And one time I complained about it, and they gave me a fast charger. Didn't cost me a nickel for the charger. They just out of the goodness of their heart, they just said, "Look, we'll take care of you." No, they didn't sponsor me on that either. Anyway, that's all for today. Try to, a lot of this is tongue in cheek, so don't get too excited. Talk to you later. Have a great day.